King's Quest III to Air as Human was released in 1986 by Sierra. In 2011, a company called AGD Interactive completely recreated the game using the King's Quest V's game engine and called it King's Quest III Redux to Air as Human. Many of the puzzles were reimagined and alternate ways of completing some objectives were introduced. Primarily, the spellcasting mechanic, which was the original game's copy protection, was reworked to use interactive point-and-click window mechanics instead of exact text box typing. This, however, doesn't make spell forging any less troublesome. Gwydion is tasked with escaping the evil wizard Manannan's overly watchful care, and to do this you must turn him into a cat. Like the original, the method to do this is to create a magical cookie that turns the devourer into a feline. The game gives you 15 minutes between Manannan's journeys and his naps in order to fulfill this task. The challenge lies in attempting to craft the cookie when Manannan leaves for the first time, showing Manannan that to leave Gwydion alone is his own undoing. However, the crafting of said cookie is time-consuming, and it's been reimagined. Not only are the ingredients not all in Manannan's home, save for the porridge, which you always must venture to obtain, you must craft additional spells in order to obtain the necessary ingredients. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's start. You'll want to visit the kitchen and obtain the bread, fruit, mutton, bowl, spoon, and knife. Don't forget to obtain the cup on your way to the dining room. While the bread and fruit aren't necessary, you might as well take them. Next up, try to obtain the fly wings in the upper observatory and race to hide them under your bed. They're considered contraband. Once done, visit Manannan's bedchamber and obtain the key, map, and rose petal essence. You can leave the mirror behind. If the RNG favors you, Manannan will task you with emptying his chamber pot, which gives you an excuse to be in his room and enables you to complete this task with less fear he'll pop in and chastise you for being in his bedchamber. This isn't to say he won't still do that, but it gives you some wiggle room. Hide all the things you take under your bed. The last item to try and get in the house is the cat fur. It helps if the cat spawns upstairs outside your bedroom, but it also works well if he's downstairs in the foyer. Doing this is very risky, but worth it as a time saver.
Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance.
Now you'll have to wait for Manannan to leave, which usually happens within the first 5 minutes of gameplay. Wait for him to do so upstairs next to your bedroom. You'll want to be here to obtain all the contraband you hid under there very swiftly. Here's where the real fun begins. You have a specific shopping list of items, and you must get them swiftly. You'll need an eagle feather, desert sand, soil, and seawater. Also to note, it's wise to visit certain areas so that they appear on your map for fast travel. When you leave the premise, you'll see an eagle in its nest. Use the mutton on the eagle or on the ledge nearby, and the eagle will swoop down to obtain it, leaving behind a feather. Once down from the mountain, head south and west, and you can scoop up a handful of desert sand. You'll head south to the bear house, and you may get lucky, and no one will be home. If this is the case, scoop up soil from the garden and enter the house to take the porridge. If the bears are home, obtain the desert sand first and return. You might want to save, because the bears may be home and waiting for them to leave the seconds you don't want to lose. Head far to the right and up into town. Go to the library, use your knife on the window, head in, and find the blue journal. You'll need to obtain this because it contains the code for unlocking Manannan's alchemy lab. Leave the same way you entered, and head north and west to obtain the seawater. Try to head back and head north a little ways to find the spider cave as well, because then it'll appear on your map. You'll want to do this for fast travel. Now warp to the mountain and head back to Manannan's home. Enter his study and unlock his safe to obtain his wand. Handle the bookshelf in the right place to discover the secret levers, and use your newly found code to open the hatch. Down the lab, obtain everything on the shelf you can. While technically you only need the saffron and empty bottle, it's best just to take everything, because it might take too much time examining all the items to find just the 2 you need. Go to the book and craft 2 spells, Fly Like an Eagle or Fly, and Bottled Musical Essence, but be sure to save before you start crafting. And have the procedure memorized or written down. Trying to follow it directly out of the book takes a lot of time. But even if you have the procedure memorized, don't forget to turn to the right page to cast. This is important. Leave the lab and the house and use your map to warp down to the bear's home again. From here, you can head to the nearby bandit tree, and with your fly wings turn into a fly, check inside the trunk to find a rope. You won't be able to reach into the hole without first seeing it as a fly. Pull the rope to release the ladder, and then save your game. Head up into the tree. If the bandit's not asleep, you'll die. Reload and continue to do this until the RNG favors you. When you go in there and he's asleep, obtain his gold pouch, leave, use your map, and head into town. Go into the merchant shop, buy the fish oil. Leave the merchant shop, head north into the tavern. Here you'll want to try and grab the loot, and the bar wench will talk to you. Talk to her a few more times to obtain the dialogue that you wish to obtain the loot, and that she'll let you do it if you entertain her with playing. Drink your musical essence that you crafted, play the lute, and leave the tavern with it. Once you leave the tavern, use your map, head to the cave, and remove the spider by turning into an eagle and grabbing it. Inside the cave contains the mandrake. Leave the cave and warp back up to the bear's home. Head up north and to the left and talk to the poet a few times about his composition. Hand him the loot, and he'll walk off, allowing you to obtain his magical water pitcher. Look inside it, find the magical word therein, head up and pour its water into the hole in the rock to finally obtain the Turning Your Foes into Cats spell page. Use your map, head back up to the mountain. Now your timer may be in the yellow. Head down into the lab, replace the missing spellbook page, and craft the cookie. If you've done it correctly, you should have just enough time to leave the lab, close the hatch, return the wand, and put all contraband you're still carrying upstairs under your bed. The last thing to do, put the cookie in the porridge and wait for Manannan to return home. It's very rewarding to watch Manannan eat that poisoned porridge. While it isn't necessary to take out Manannan on his first journey abroad, it's all the more rewarding for doing so. Now you can take it rather easy, obtaining all the items that you've missed and left behind, and craft the rest of your spells.